Hello everyone and welcome to my beginner's guide on the Have Chips DCS servers. These are currently a pair of PvPvE servers that have two settings, one in 1989, the other set in 2014, and these are heavily inspired by the Shadow Reapers servers by Xerxes. They feature a full dynamic campaign, multiple AI elements all controlled by a AI overlord known as Chief. They also have a detailed mission system that is optional but can help direct players to make the most impact. So today I'm just going to be trying to quickly give you all the information you need to know to jump into this server for the very first time. So let's jump in with the guide. As for what airframes that you can expect to play on this server, does depending on which era you're playing. On the 1989 server, we still have quite a lot there. On blue, we've got both F-15s, we've got the F-16, F-18, the Mirage 2000, the AV-8B Harrier, Warthogs, both the A and the C version. We've got the Viggen, the MB339, and the T-1A Hawk. And the C-130 was just added as I was making this video. Over on red, you've got the Tomcat, both the A and the B. You've got the Flanker, both 27 and 33. The MiG-29, A Fulcrum, and the Flaming Cliffs version. You've then got the F4E Phantom, the Mirage F1s in all their varieties, the Su-25 in both its basic and its T version. F5E, interestingly, is on red. MiG-21, the L-39, C-101 is there. In 2024, we do have a slightly different loadout here. Main differences are that the Jeff is added to red. The Viper moves across to be on red. We also have access to the Su-30SM on red. In terms of rotary, for both eras, blue get the Apache, the Kiowa, the Huey, the Chinook, and the Black Hawk. Meanwhile, red get the K-50, the Gazelle, the Hind, the Hip. Now, you may have noticed there that there are several mod aircraft available. You don't need to install these mods to be able to play and have fun in the server. But you will see the wrong 3D model if you don't have them on. Modded aircraft appear as a plain Su-27. The modded Black Hawk appears as an Mi-8. So you can have some friendly fire issues if you are not paying attention there. Mods are free though, and I will try and put the link down in the description. And they do have plans to add more mods as long as they're happy with them. In particular, I'd love to see the A4 added because that is an excellent mod. Also be aware that because this has a big focus on PvE, there are AI aircraft. That includes all of the normal flyable aircraft, but also on top of that we have the A6E Intruder, the B1B Lancer, the B52 Buff, Tornado GR4, and of course the Black Hawk. Over on red, they've got the MiG-31 Foxhound, the MiG-23 Flogger, the Su-24, the Tu-22, the H-6J, and the Mi-26. So do keep an eye out for those. It can be useful to know what you are going to be going up against, since you may find yourself in a dogfight with some of those. Our weapons again vary by era as is appropriate, and so in the 89 setting you're mostly going to be limited to Fox 1s and 2s with some very early Fox 3s, and again guided weapons are available with some of the early versions but they're not massively available. In the 2014 version you have pretty much everything that DCS has to offer. In terms of maps, right now they're running on Caucasus and Syria, but of course that may change and maps may be added in the future. So next up then, how does the campaign actually work? Well, it's very much like a contention style focus on airfields campaign. Your objectives are to do damage in and around a given airfield to slowly tick down its HP. each airfield has a little HP bar which can be seen on the F10 map. This starts off at 80%, it can be brought up by dropping off supply crates, which the AI will also run supply missions, and it can be brought down by dealing damage both to ground and air assets around that airfield. In particular, it should be noted that a player dying does cost a zone a significant amount of HP. And that is one thing that separates this server from a lot of others. There is a huge focus on survival here. Now, if you reduce a zone to 0 HP, it becomes neutral and the enemy can't spawn there anymore. In order to capture a zone, you have to land friendly troops on it. This can be given to you as part of a mission, or you can just opt to do this on your own. The requirements are the zone must have less than 10% health, so you can still capture while the enemy is just holding on. The enemy do need to have no ground units alive in the area though. Then as soon as you have ground units alive in the area, such as when you've dropped them off with CTLD, your side will then capture. Do note that you don't have to rely on players doing this. The AI will send troop transport flights out to capture these vulnerable bases as well. Do note that when you capture a base, the number of troops you drop off will influence the starting HP of that base, and so it is worth taking a bunch of them. Now, one thing to note is just because your side has an airfield doesn't mean you can take everything off from it. It does distinguish between frontline and rear bases. The rule of this is simply any base that is closer than 45 nautical miles from any non-friendly base will count as a frontline unit, and that is non-friendly as in neutral or hostile. Anything further than 45 nautical miles from the nearest non-friendly base is considered a rear airfield. Now, as for the differences between them, you get access to more planes and notably more equipment in the rear airfields. Frontline airfields, you're going to get access to less stuff. Airfields munition is tracked in this, and you can run out of specific munitions. You can top these up with cargo flights with the DCS cargo system, but especially on frontline airfields, you can absolutely start to run out if everybody is trying to take the limited amount of high-end toys available there. General rule is if you're not seeing what you want, try an airfield further back and you should have access to more things. Now, the server does feature an EWRS system. This system is purely fed by AWACS and ground EWR radars, not airborne radars, not player airborne radars, and is based on a line of sight from those, and so you can absolutely terrain mask to avoid showing up on the hostile EWS. It's also really worth noting that the chiefs in charge of both sides, the AI controlling them, only see what the EWS system does, and so if you're hidden from enemy radar, the enemy AI will not react to your presence. So you can absolutely do your low-level canyon runs in order to deep strike enemy targets. So the first thing you're going to want to do is link your Discord with the server. You don't have to do this, it all works without this, but this way you do have your stats tracked on the Discord. In order to do that, we just pop into the Have Chips Discord. There will be a link to that down below. And we just type /link me. Hit enter. And it gives you a token, which you can copy and paste into the chat of either server, doesn't matter which one. So now just going back over to DCS, go into the in-game chat, paste that link, boom, done, linked. I can now access my stats. To check your stats, go back to the server and simply type statistics, hit enter, and there you go. Brings up your statistics. We can see here that even though I didn't have this linked until now, it does still record all of my stats. This just gives me access to how I've been doing. Yeah, I've been doing alright. Not great, but alright. Now once you're in and you're sitting in the cockpit and everything is good, you're going to want a mission. to access the missions, you go to your comms menu, hit F10, and then go to missions. Then F1 join task, and you're presented with a list of missions in the top corner: strike, bomb runway, seed, bombing, escort, intercept, and troop transport. And so you simply pick what you feel like doing. So let's say I feel like doing an intercept mission. It is then going to pop up with all of the available intercept missions. These get populated by the AI chief, which is an AI that handles the kind of strategic layer of this, dispatching both AI assets and generating these missions in an attempt to win the fight. Now, you don't need to do these missions, you can just take off and do your own thing. You do get awarded for both air-to-air and air-to-ground kills. You will still help the campaign, but these help give you a little bit of focus and you get a little bit of a better reward at the end. So in this case, yeah, I'm going to see if I can intercept these tornadoes. And once you've got the mission, you will be sent towards it. So in this case, we have information here, the coordinates of the mission, the target elevation, and I will get steady callouts. On top of that, we also get told what the rewards are. Importantly, we do need to survive in order to claim the rewards. And then you will be getting these GCI intercept controller pop-ups that will tell you an updated intercept heading of your target. Now, very similar to contention, this server does run a takeoff delay timer. You can hot start, which is nice, but you do have to wait till the takeoff timer has expired, so just keep an eye on that. In this case, mine has already expired, so I'm free to take off whenever. Now, what may happen is what's just happened to me, that I've got a mission completed, someone else has shot down those targets. That happens, that's fine, that mission still complete for me. I still get the rewards for landing. I don't get the rewards for the kill, but I do get rewards for landing. Now what I can do then is just pick another mission, so I go back into the menu, task. In this case, I've got no intercept missions available, no escort missions available. I could land if I wanted to, I'm not set up for anything else. But you know what, I will head off, and there's some enemy radar contacts nearby that I may as well head towards for now. Got full fuel, no reason not to.
12 o'clock. And that's 460. 320. Speed is 290.
So there we go, found an enemy, shut down the enemy. Right, so here in the air I've got another mission to intercept some tornadoes, so I may as well pick that up while I'm here.
Target 6 miles. Splash. Get ready. The bandit is going down. Nails, 7 o'clock.
Unfortunately here I have been shot down, so I don't get my points, and it's going to cost my team a fair bit. We have all sorts of missions that we can do. So helicopters get access to transport missions and CTLD. Yeah, so we get proper troop transport missions, so can just go under there. F7 is troop transport, and so here I've got a couple of missions there: capture a hillside or capture Homs. Or once again I can set my own things. If I go to the CTLD menu, I could instead take my own CTLD troops, get an option of various JTACs or air cavalry that I could drop off. Or what I'm going to do in this case is manage crates. And I'm going to get a red supply crate. That gets loaded in. I can see that I have 1 out of 2 crates. I can take a little bit more, so I may as well. So get another crate. CTLD crates, load crates. Load all. That's what I want to do with this lot. I want to reinforce Renee here, just taking a lot of damage. So we've got 2 crates worth of supplies. Alright, so it's a bunch of stuff loaded. Now just to transport this lot to the front. There we go, land at the other end. Now I can use the CTLD system to drop the crates. And there we go, I get rewarded with 150 XP and 25 tokens. Okay, and just a note there that it's supposed to hover to load the crates, which I did not do. There we go, and what that does is it repairs the facility, so I have added a little more health to this. Now, as for what we can do with the supplies, if we go to the F10 menu and go stats and tokens, you can check your stats. Tells you what you've done, how much XP you've got, how many tokens you've got, number of completed sorties, etc. But we can also do F3 by a favour. Right now you essentially get 2 options. For 10 tokens you can smoke targets, for 50 tokens you can call in an escort flight to help you on your current mission. They are planning to add more of these, but for now that is what you're spending these on. Now if you forget any of this, the briefing is available for you in the new board, and so you can double check any of this as you're going. Now the server is very much new and still very much in a state of development, so everything I've said here may change in the future. It's also why I've not dived in too much detail on any specific system or the specific numbers involved, because all of that is subject to change as things go on. If you would like to see a guide focusing on any particular system, do let me know and I'd be happy to put that together. Otherwise, hope you have fun on your first flight here. I've been finding this a very fun mission even when it is empty, because the PvE elements mean that even if you're flying at a weird time, you can absolutely get some action there. But for now, as always, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.